So let me wrap up tonight's live stream with the latest Olamide feature that dropped on a Monday. I kind of held it together not to listen to this. This comes with me trying to make the live stream noteworthy by listening to this for the first time. But I had a very, very like somewhat detailed conversation about this song on the Monday space. So I got to hear 2 arguments for and against the song. It's quite interesting to see where this song will land. But it's a very interesting surprise drop from Olamide for another as another single into his forthcoming album. What's the album called again? Oh yeah, self-titled, Olamide, yeah. What were the arguments? I mean, apparently it takes on a very EDM-esque musical, like house lean, as opposed to what you would typically expect for a Seyi Vibez and Asake moment, something street-worthy, something that would feed the streets. So it was 2 arguments. Someone saying, it was noteworthy that they didn't give us what they expected. And the other argument was like, they didn't give me what I expected. So it's like 2 people not essentially meeting their needs, essentially. One person meeting their needs and another person not, essentially. So, but anyway, man, let's get into this one. 99 featuring an artist called Daecolm. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But we would dive in. All right, let's hear it. 99 Olamide, Seyi Vibez, Asake. Let's go.
The bank, you know, the money make a dance, so and I'm feeling funky. Meji, I'm gonna party like 99.
All right, very, very, very uplifted atmosphere. Stark difference from what you would typically expect from when these names come around. You have probably the big 3 of the streets, like ever. Okay, maybe not ever, but yeah, man, the biggest 3 names out of the streets you can think of. Olamide, Seyi Vibez, Asake. They're coming on some Eurocentric house infused like type of feel, very lush, very wholesome. Doesn't necessarily capture that, like, you know what I mean, the grit or the or the crassness of the streets. It doesn't really capture that, and I can see why it's like a misdirection for anyone. I can immediately see that. But I'm really intrigued as to how everyone else will fit, because Jonn so far has taken the charge and established the hook, and I think it's a very fine hook. It works with the production so far, and I'm a big fan of Jonn with his hooks. I think Jonn is probably one of the best like hook guy, you can say. Or I know they used to call somebody else Captain Hook, but anyway, let me come back to this. But let's wait for how the others are going to work on this record, man. So far, so good, man. Let's.
All I'm craving is more moolah. Look amazing.
Asake.
Combo. Miami.
I want to hear like a crazy verse from Casper at this point or something. I don't know, man. Definitely has some SA feel to it. Definitely on the Afro House tip that I'm getting to in this sense now. But so far, man, I'm in love with the hook. I'm in love with how we transitioned away from Asake's verse, which was not necessarily that noteworthy of a verse, to be honest. But I don't know how they're all going to share verses on this song. But overall, man, the hook is still the best piece of moment here, which exactly what you want with the structure like that. You know what I mean? So let's go, man. Let's say
I'm all looking when I hit it from the back.
Hey.
She go crazy, give me love and right back. I'm like, kiss me, you look good.
Do you know what just hit me? A Seyi Vibez and Travis record. I want to hear that. It just hit me right now. I would want to hear Travis and Seyi Vibez on the record. Randomly, it just hit me.
We're going to New England.
Hey!
Then get
Seyi Vibez, okay. I think Seyi Vibez had like so much like real estate, almost as if he owned the song. Have I heard Olamide so far? Has Olamide gone into the song? Did Olamide open up the song? I feel like I missed Olamide completely. I swear I didn't process Olamide's verse if he has come up already. Let's get into the last verse, which is coming from the Daecolm artist, and I've heard good things about this one, so let's go.
Well up, baby, come on me now alpha. Need no answer. If I slide to side, you might speak. A done deal.
Willis, okay. Interesting song, interesting moment overall. It's crazy the timing of this song and the conversation we're having literally the week before this dropped about how, like, it's the Donor One conversation about, like, oh, Nigerian dollars don't bring in much, and Nigerian streams don't bring in much for artists. They should be targeting outside Nigeria, essentially. And it begs the question, what's going to happen to people that don't have that outside of Nigeria appeal when it comes to their music that obviously very indigenous in the soundscape, in their direction, in their language, in their posturing. They don't have the look or branding or image of a Thames that is a lot more friendly to the West, as opposed to like some other artists like Seyi Vibez or TML, Balarankin. We're literally having a conversation. Like, do they now have to start shape-shifting into Swedish friendly like music now all of a sudden? What's that going to do to the essence of Afrobeat and being Nigerian? Like, is that going to dilute the culture in any sense? We're literally having a conversation. And then all of a sudden, this record drops of the 3 biggest names in street pop that you can think of, all on one song. And they give you they give you the Swedish the Swedish festival like opener. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was very funny, the timing of this particular drop. Okay, and obviously mostly English throughout the entire song, and like even Asake recently, Seyi Vibez recently, that Pressure record, all English. You know what I mean? It's just funny how this timed it and came up, and it feels as if everybody's responding to the market somehow, and it's almost inevitable that this would happen. And I can't fault artists I say they can only make music in one particular way. I can get the reservation that people might have that this is not what I expect when I see these names come together. I understand that completely, wholeheartedly. I hear it. I kind of vibe to this, you know? It was very, very, like, it's very cozy, it's loungy atmosphere. Like, it's actually a vibe, especially like with the pockets that you can see with different textures of vocals. I need to go back to hear Olamide's opener first, yet again, but I think overall, regardless of the bigger conversation around the song, it's a feel-good song. It's a feel-good record. We kind of saw signs of this from different moments in all their careers and all their trajectories, especially with Asake. The happiness moment with Gunna kind of felt like, or evoked the same feeling with that one, with SARS on the production. Olamide too has had some obscure moments before when it comes to his appeal and approach. His UI Scotty that had completely nothing really of that street element. So it's kind of expected of these names to, like, I guess, move away from streets in some sense. So it's not as jarring when it comes to these artists because they are somewhat versatile in their beat production, in their beat selection and whatnot. But regardless, on a small picture, on a granular scale, it's a good song. It's a good song on a granular scale. It's a nice record that I can definitely see playing in functions. I can see it in the background. Just if, like, it feels like summer. It feels tropical. It feels uplifting. Shout out to Daecolm towards the end. I actually smoked it, even though I'm not familiar with this artist. Definitely was more of the enjoyable part of the song. Young Jonn and his hooks, we need to have that conversation. We need to have the Young Jonn conversation at some point when it comes to how efficient his hooks are. I think he's one of the best to do it. He just dropped a song that had a fantastic record, that had a fantastic hook again with Asake recently called Cheche. I definitely love that song. And it's funny because the timing of this one might just tramp on that particular release because I think that song is really good too. But overall, man, not a bad moment. I enjoyed this, but it's a broader conversation to be had about this song and what this song is going to mean in terms of trends that we will start seeing, especially from street-facing artists. We might start seeing this as a thing. Everyone's going to be facing outside. Those record label advances are going to be paid one way or the other. So it's, yeah, it needs a Super Luscious video. It has a video? It has a video. No one told me it has a video.
To the bank, you know the money make a dance to.
Hey!
And I'm feeling funky.
Okay, Olamide's verses. Okay. I like it. I like this. I like the vibe. I like the vibe. I like the vibe Olamide enters in, man. Why did I not pay attention to that?
They make the work go round. You know, do me, I want more. A little my jet.
Come on.
More life, more fun.
I don't go lie, I want to like that. I don't go lie, I want to like that. We're going to New England. Gucci moto side, Pepe jam,
Do this for real. I don't chill, I move in. If I slide, you side, you might spin.
Everything about this was so. Let's go. Makes sense. Video makes sense. It's a nice record. I can see it doing a madness. Okay, I can absolutely see it doing a madness for Olamide on a global like trajectory. Because I think that's exactly the focus of this record. It feels friendly to outside. Outside the shores of Nigeria, even outside the shores of Nigeria diaspora as well. So I'm definitely moving to this, like in terms of the utility. The replay value is crazy on this. Again, shout out to Young Jonn for the sublime hook. Okay, Olamide enters the record and opens up the record beautifully as well. Shout out to everyone that put this together, man. Yeah, overall it's a big statement for Olamide, especially for his album coming up, self-titled. Looking forward to the album. Again, the dialogue of, I guess, what's diluting or appeasing to the West, that conversation can be had on the backside of this that we're witnessing, but overall, man, we're vibing, we're moving. Okay, it's feeling very friendly for the summer and the tropical aspect of things that are coming up very soon. So I'm looking forward to hearing this in functions as well, and just living with this record, you know. So it's a fine record, man. Shout out to Olamide.